business owners to close up shop for the day. Nick Monticelli joins us live in Mexican Town, where we are certainly seeing some signs that some closures are going to be happening today. Talk about the importance of this demonstration.
Well, so the sign is actually right behind me, and there will be many of them. You mentioned social media. The hashtag for the day is a day without immigrants. So look at this one. Closed Thursday, and it's going to say in support of protests. That is because they are trying to send a message to President Trump that this country, according to them, cannot run without immigrants. Signs like this are going to be common in Mexican Town today as part of a nationwide protest called A Day Without Immigrants. It's a grassroots movement protesting President Trump's immigration policy and highlighting contributions of the immigrant community in the U.S. One Facebook post directed at Trump says, Mr. President, without us and our contributions, the country will be paralyzed. The In-N-Out Supermercado is one in Mexican Town. The bakery is another, but there will be dozens. And not just here, across the country. In Milwaukee, thousands marched yesterday, and 150 businesses were closed. And Austin, Texas, has one of the highest immigrant populations, so today Mexican restaurants like this will be closed too.
If you stand for something, whatever your ideology is, you got to stand up for it.
Across the U.S., many major industries will be feeling this, especially the restaurant industry. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2015, 7.1 million U.S. restaurant workers were immigrants. And a Pew Research study showed that in 2014, 1.1 million of them were undocumented. In fact, only the construction industry has more undocumented workers than restaurants. So it certainly is going to be an interesting day to see what kind of businesses are closing. But everyone, Rhonda, I want you to think about this. Mexican Town, Mexican Village, obviously kind of the place you would think of for something like this. But this could be all over Metro Detroit. One of my favorite restaurants is in Macomb County. This could be something that affects a lot of businesses, hundreds of businesses all over our area. Well, not in Mexican Town, Nick Monticelli, local 40.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Raise that awareness.
Absolutely, yeah.
Remind us of the businesses that we go to.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Donald Trump and his comments on this. Nick, we know that we have so many restaurants here in Detroit. Do we know how many are going to be involved?
You know, we don't, because this is that grassroots social media movement. So there's really no coordination, nobody running this thing. It's just a number of businesses will decide, they'll wake up and say, you know what, I want to be a part of this too. So we won't have a good idea until the end of the day.
But something people should know might change their plans today. All right, Nick, thank you. Do the right thing. That's what some 800 parents of transgender children are asking of the Trump administration. Hundreds of other parents wrote President Trump a letter asking that he and the Department of Justice defend Title IX, which orders school districts to let transgender children go to the bathroom they identify with. Well, Sarah and Peter Torp, they are from Washtenaw County, and they helped with that letter. They accept their transgender son for who he is, and are hoping that the law will protect him for who he is.
He could come out tomorrow and support, this guidance, to allow Title IX to recognize that transgender kids and gender identity is real.
And while Title IX came down under former President Obama, the Torp family is hoping that President Trump realizes that this is about equal rights and not politics. We're also following other stories from across the metro area this morning.
Yeah, that includes stories from Taylor, Bruce Township, and Dearborn Heights, and we'll start there. That's where a father has pleaded guilty to the murders of his 4 children. He's 50-year-old Gregory Green, and he also pleaded guilty to torturing his wife. Green's 2 biological children were killed by carbon monoxide poisoning, and his 2 stepchildren were shot execution style. You might remember this story. As part of the guilty plea, Green will spend at least 47 years in prison.
In Bruce Township, one person was killed last night in a head-on crash. 2 cars collided along Van Dyke near 34 Mile when one driver crossed the center median and hit a vehicle being driven by a 57-year-old woman from Inlay City who died at the scene. It's unclear if the driver who hit the woman's car was injured or how severely.
And in Taylor, a man will appear in court